welcome back to our channel startuplanes.com. I am Mori Tanvi and today's video is going to be very interesting. So watch the video till the end. In this video, I would be talking about one of the most innovative companies of 21st century, that is IKEA. So let's get started. So guys, let me tell you that IKEA is a furniture manufacturing company. Now, in spite of being furniture, a localized business, IKEA is a global success. Let's know how. So according to the current statistics, IKEA is a company of $45 billion across 445 stores, which are spread across 30 whole countries. But guys, the most important thing is that we should not focus upon the IKEA's growth. We should focus upon that IKEA has taught the world the most important psychological tactic of how to attract consumers, how to hold consumers, etc. So let's know more about it. So in today's video also we are going to learn a few of the psychological tactics that is taught by IKEA. No matter what your company does, no matter what you manufacture, no matter what in which industry you are, these psychological tactics will make your company a profitable company at zero cost. So the answer to the question that which is this flexible psychological tactics that is applicable to all the industries, that is applicable to all the businesses, all the industries, lies in a very unique experiment conducted by Dan Ariely with the students of MIT. So guys, let's do this experiment together. So what Dan did was that he went to one of the classes of 100 students and he asked them to choose one subscription plan for the great economic magazine, which was The Economist. Okay, so Dan gave them three options. The first were the digital version, the second was the print version, and the third was the combined of print as well as the digital version. So the prices of these three subscriptions were as follows. Now, the students came up with the answers. So, only 16% chose the first digital version, 0% of the students chose the print version, and rest of the students, that is 84%, chose the print plus digital version. Now Dan thought that as nobody is choosing the second option, let's remove it, okay, because it's of no use. So he went to the second class of 100 students and asked the same question. Now he had only two subscription plans. The first was only digital version and the second was the print plus digital version. But Dan noticed something over here. The answers and the scenario of the class drastically changed because most of the students chose the digital version over the print plus digital version, which was combined. Now, technically, by eliminating the unwanted option, the result should not change, but it did. So, the unwanted option which we eliminated made so much difference and created a huge difference between the answers of the students. So, Dan here understood the magic of this unwanted option, which if it is there, then it will create a magic between the customer, and if it's not there, still there is magic in the answers of the customers, and that is what we call as decoy effect. Now the question is that what is decoy effect? So decoy effect means that the consumers change the preferences between two options when presented with the third option. So the third option is just to look the more expensive option more lucrative. That's all. So here is one example. If you have ever visited theaters, movie halls, then you can notice that they have three range of popcorns over there. The one is of 300 rupees, the second is of 650 rupees, and the large popcorn is of 700 rupees. Of course, any logical or practical knowledge person will choose the 700 one because we are getting too many popcorns as well as the price is also good. But this is the worst possible example, even if it is technically correct. So why it is irrelevant, I'll explain you. The first option is the 300 rupees popcorn where we overpay for the popcorn. The second option is the medium one where we pay 650 for the popcorn, which is extremely overpay for the popcorn. Third option is the large one, the 700 rupees popcorn, where it is extremely overpay for the popcorn plus some extra popcorn. And the worst part over here is that in none of the options, that is the three options, no one is justifying the actual value of the popcorn, that is the actual value of the product. So by this decoy effect, this buying of popcorn is a very painful experience. And the people like you and me, the middle class people, won't even think of buying popcorns at the theater. But this strategy works in a closed environment like theaters and malls. But what if you use this tactic in an open market? In the market where the products are sold openly. This tactic will backfire you and put you into losses. So now here are explained two scenarios, one in a closed environment and one in an open environment. So now the question is that what is the actual right way to apply this decoy effect into your business? And while answering this question, here when IKEA's wonderful representation and application of this effect comes in. So what IKEA does is, the same example of popcorn I will use here, IKEA have these three compartments. The first compartment is small, the second compartment is a large one, and the third compartment is of the same size of the second compartment. But the difference are there in the prices. So here are the difference in their prices. So the first compartment is small with less space and with low quality material. The quality used in the material is low. The second compartment is big. Okay, the space is also good, but the material used is the same of the first. Now the third, which is the premium model of among all those compartments, will have premium handles, premium sockets, will have a large space, and also complementary compartments would be given. So obviously, any sensible person will choose the third option because the prices are suppose $40, $60, and $65. So why not pay few money extra and buy the best out of the three? Now, according to IKEA, these three products say these sentences, which you can see on the screen. So, any person who will buy the first product will also feel good that I have bought a low budget, product over the high budget product. And also, the person who is buying the third product will feel I have bought the best among the three by paying the valuable amount. So here the second option, which is of $60, is the main part of the decoy effect. Because of this middle option, the other two options are flourished and consumer think if we will buy either of them, we would be buying the best product. So the second option over here is called decoy. And because of the decoy, consumers think that the other two options, the low budget one and the high budget one, are the best options. And IKEA never let down the low budget customers as well as the premium level customers. And this gave IKEA three main advantages. What are they? The first one is that the customers, all type of customers are satisfied with IKEA, and when they move out of IKEA, they think that we have bought the best product in the market. Secondly, the premium customers have been tactfully, forced to buy the premium product, which is of $65 and not $60 because of the decoy effect. And the third most important advantage of decoy effect to IKEA is that suppose there is a boy who has recently moved to a new city and he has no money, but still he wants to buy furniture. So of course he will buy the $40 furniture. But after few time when he will earn handsome amount of money, he will again visit IKEA to buy the premium product. At this time also, he will think that IKEA was there with me in my past time, and now also I am buying the best product from IKEA. So both the situations are win-win situations for IKEA. And the third is the most important advantage of it. So this is how exactly the decoy effect should be applied. And this is taught by IKEA to the world. So, where other competitors of IKEA play with the pricing strategies, play with the marketing strategies, IKEA sits on one place, learn the psychological mindset of the consumers and play with their minds and not with the prices. And this is how IKEA is globally successful. And not only this, IKEA does this for each and every product which they sell in their stores. But guys, this is not it, because to work on such a large scale, it takes a lot of efforts. So whenever IKEA enters into a country, IKEA learns first how the country is worked. So starting from the average balcony size till the average spoon size in a family, everything is been learned by IKEA. Not only this, it is very difficult to maintain the profits as well as the brand image in the eyes of the consumers as well as in the market. So guys, from this case study, the learnings are that whenever you enter into a market, you should know that what are the regions you are covering. You should know what is the culture in that particular region. You should know that what are the payment methods of the people in that region. You should study each and everything. You should also study the consumer's reaction when the consumer has entered into your store. So each and everything, learning, and practice will make you perfect. So this was it for today's video. It was a great and amazing video for me also to study, and I hope you have also liked this video. So if you want to know more about us, do visit our website called startuplanes.com. If you want to know more about IKEA and the current situation of IKEA, in the description box everything is written. Also, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. All the important links are given in the description box. Thank you so much.